And we back. Now, since I make an NBA video pretty much every day, I get to read through comments. And I gotta say, some of y'all have some pretty whack NBA opinions. And don't get me wrong, you personally, everybody in the world is entitled to their own opinions. But just because you're entitled to your opinion doesn't make your opinion good. So in today's video, we're taking a look at some of the more ridiculous NBA opinions that's going around, and we're giving our opinions about other people's opinions. It's just opinions left and right, and you're gonna have some opinions too in the comment section. I just know it. So let's get into it. The Kings will win the finals in 3 years. Somebody legitimately has this opinion. Should I break it to this guy? I'm gonna break it to you, fella. Whoever wrote this. No. All right, it's just a no. The only way the Kings win a championship in the next 3 years is if Kobe come out of retirement, MJ comes out of retirement and still in his prime, LeBron signs there in the offseason, Paul George signs there, DeMarcus Cousins comes back. No, all right. And the biggest reason I'm saying no, because, well, legitimately, the team's trash. You feel me? They don't have a lot of pieces that could turn into something in just 3 years. First of all, to blossom into the best form of yourself, it takes people sometimes to they're like 28, 29. And in this picture, they got De'Aaron Fox, who had a good rookie year. But it's probably going to be 5-6 years down the line before we see prime De'Aaron Fox. Who else on that roster has potential to be great? I'll wait. Only way they do this is if Vince Carter goes back in a time machine and he's playing like his old self. I'm telling y'all, some people just got some of the weirdest and most ridiculous opinions out there. Giannis would be the best European player ever. Now, I started off this video with a just ridiculous, outrageous opinion, but I don't think this one is too far off. If you ask me my top 3 European players of all time, Dirk is number 1, Tony Parker's probably number 2, and then Pau Gasol is number 3. And I say that because those are 3 players that I actually got to watch play. There are European players from back in the 90s or the 80s that I didn't get to see play, but those are my top 3 from my eyes. I legitimately think that Giannis could pass all 3. You think about it, he's only 23 years old. He's only 23 years old. He's already taken the league by storm. I almost have no doubt in my mind that somewhere throughout Giannis's career, he will win an MVP. You know, if his team was more successful this year, he would be in the running for MVP. But unfortunate for him, they just didn't win enough. Next year could be the year that Giannis wins an MVP. Boom. That already puts him up a level. If he can somehow bring a championship to Milwaukee throughout his career and win an MVP also, without a doubt, and he continues to average 25, 26, 27 points per game, I'm a firm believer that he could become the best European player ever. Now, everything would have to fall into place. He'd have to be healthy throughout his entire career. He'd have to win an MVP, at least one MVP. He'd have to win a championship. So those are 3 things he'd have to do to become the best European player ever. But I definitely think it's possible. Ray Allen could have been more highly acclaimed if he was on a different team. No, I'm going to disagree with this one. I read Ray Allen's book that just released like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. It took me like 2 days to read it. Which is good because there are some books I'll read the first couple chapters like, this is trash. I don't think the book was great. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't great, but at least I finished it, you know. And in the book, he mentioned, he wanted to win a ring. Everybody, well, not everybody, but most people in the league want to get the glory of having a championship ring, holding the trophy, getting in the parade. And Ray Allen was one of those guys. But him being on a different team, he doesn't get that ring. Like, I see Ray Allen in Boston, and even though he was still great, he was like 3rd string. He was 3rd string. He went from shooting 20 plus shots per game in Seattle to the very first year in Boston shooting like 14 shots a game. That's an extreme decrease. So he still had the greatness. He just didn't have to take as many shots. And I think when we look back on Ray Allen's career, we still notice him as one of the greatest. Leads the league in all-time 3-point shots. You know, we know how great he is. So could he be more acclaimed if he was on a different team? I don't think so, because I don't think he wins a championship unless he's in Boston. You know, and then he goes to Miami, wins another one. That's 2 rings. And what more can you ask for? 2 rings and the all-time 3-point shooting champion? He's there. Allen Iverson is the most skilled player of all time. No. And don't get me wrong, Allen Iverson is the reason I fell in love with basketball. So when I say no, that's not a shot at Allen Iverson. But I don't think he's the most skilled of all time. He had his flaws, man. He wasn't a defender. Don't come at me with that he led the league in steal things. That does not make you a defender, all right? That does not make you a defender. And he wasn't an amazing playmaker. He had his moments, you know, he threw the flashy passes that make you think he was amazing at playmaker, but he just wasn't that. He was a bona fide bucket getter. Bona fide, one of the best bucket getters of all time. But he wasn't the most skilled. I see, like, on my list, the 2 greatest players of all time, MJ and LeBron. Both of them were probably the most well-rounded players to ever play. MJ, best scorer we've ever seen, possibly. Defensive player of the year. There was a year where he ran point guard for the entire year and he averaged like 7 assists. So he had the playmaking, he had the defense, he had the scoring. That's well-rounded. LeBron, well, he's like a physical tank. Nobody can stop him. He has the playmaking. In his prime, he was a pretty good defender. Maybe not so much now in his later age, but he was a great defender, playmaker. And those are the 2 most skilled players of all time to me. So Allen Iverson, not the most skilled, but definitely got nothing but love for AI. Got to. Rudy Gobert will win Defensive Player of the Year. If I had a vote, which I will be making a video probably tomorrow, the day after they give him my votes, I'll let y'all in real quick. Rudy Gobert deserves Defensive Player of the Year, but the fact that he only played, I think, 56 games or so is the reason he can't. He doesn't even really qualify because he missed such a big part of the season. But statistically, there's nobody even close to him defensively in the league. But because of his injuries, he won't win it this year, which is trash. So I still don't know who I'm voting for. If I could vote Rudy, I would still vote Rudy, but he just doesn't qualify. So kind of sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do for that video, but I got to figure it out. I got to look at some numbers and stuff, but Rudy would get my vote if he played more games. The Bulls will retire Jimmy Butler's jersey. No, they won't. He was amazing for us. But at the end of the day, we didn't win anything. You know, he was a great leader for the years he was here, but we didn't win anything. The Bulls don't retire many people's numbers. You look at it, I think we got 5 numbers retired in the existence of this league. Like, they're very strict on what they retire. And though Jimmy was great for us, I don't think he makes the cut. If we win, and he's like an MVP voting and stuff like that, then we got a different story. My main question is if they're going to do that for Derrick Rose. Because though Derrick Rose did win MVP, we didn't win anything as a team. I think they should retire Derrick Rose's number. Being from the city and doing all the things he did for the city, I think he warrants a jersey retirement. But I completely understand people that think that he doesn't, because at the end of the day, we didn't win anything with him. And that's not his fault that we didn't. It's his knees fault. It's the bad luck fault. But I would like to see him get his jersey retired. If he does, I would be in attendance that day, and I'm vlogging it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. Let me know your most ridiculous or outrageous NBA opinions in the comment section below. Thank y'all. Peace.